eBay buyers notice everything, especially how you ship out their cards. Mess it up and you risk bad feedback, but get it right and you avoid headaches, build trust, and you keep that feedback perfect. As a top rated seller on eBay, I take pride in keeping my buyers happy every single time that they purchase from me. And in today's video, I'll be walking you through just how I pack and ship my cards out so you can do the same and keep that feedback perfect. All right, so before we get started with exactly what we're going to use to ship out cards, I want to do a quick overview of everything you can expect from this video, starting with the best way to pack and ship cards safely. I'm also going to cover some mistakes to avoid that can lead to bad feedback, and then we're going to cover some simple steps you can take to ensure positive feedback every time. All right, let's get to it. All right, so now that we got the overview out of the way, I want to now get into the exact materials, the supplies that I use to ship cards the right way. Now, I want to let you know, full transparency, that these are the materials, these are the items that we use on a daily to ship out cards on eBay. However, the video footage that you're going to see in today's video was taken live from a previous shipment that I did today. We're still using all the same supplies, but I couldn't help myself and I wanted to record that because I got two different types of cards that we're shipping out today, and I wanted you to see two examples of how I ship cards out, graded and non-graded. So before we get to that, let's cover the supplies that we're going to be using that I actually use every single time that I ship cards out, starting with pieces of cardboard. Now, pieces of cardboard don't have to be anything fancy, and really what they're there for is to add that initial layer of protection. I like to personally reuse boxes from my own online orders. I cut these down into 6x9 measurements, and then I use them as I need them as orders come in through eBay. For my personal card shipments, I like using these mailer envelopes. Now, these are not padded, they're not insulated, but I use non-padded mailers, and I just like adding in my own padding. These are 6x10, and they work really well with the 6x9 pieces of cardboard that I pre-cut. For my padding, this is my custom padding. I like to cut up large envelope pieces from my own online orders, and I just cut them accordingly, and I use them to wrap the cardboard in, and then that will go into the mailer, and then it's a nice securely packaged item. So this is a pretty low cost way to ship items, and that's another strategy of mine, is trying to keep the cost low while making sure that the cards arrive safe and packaged securely. Painter's tape, this is ideal for securing cards between the cardboard pieces and then sealing top loaders if you're sending out ungraded cards. It's low adhesive, it's easy to peel off, and it doesn't leave residue on the card, top loader, or the slab itself. Box tape, I use this to securely seal the mailer envelope after everything is packed and the shipping label is attached. This just adds a nice layer of protection, a nice layer of security on that mailer envelope. And then a couple of extra things that I like to use. Now, this is just my personal preference. This is optional, but I like adding in a thank you stamp, and in the video footage that you're about to see, you'll see just how I use this and where I use it on the cardboard. But this adds a nice personal touch. I love the thank you gesture. It's just a really cool touch, shows appreciation to the buyer. And then lastly, I like adding in some additional cards. These are just extra cards as a thank you gesture. I choose based on the buyer's purchase. So if I got a buyer that's buying Dodgers cards from me, I'm going to throw in a few extra Dodgers cards. Just depending on what they're buying, I like to add in a few extra cards as a way to say thank you, and then just keep building that relationship with my buyer. Now, why this matters is using the right packing method helps prevent damaged cards. It's going to help prevent buyer complaints, and it's also going to help prevent negative feedback, and that's the name of the game. So if you're going to do it right, and I believe that this is the right way. Now, let's get into the footage of my earlier shipment so I can walk you through so you can see this process come to life and see just how we use all these supplies and what that finished product looks like. All right, now that we got our cards packed perfectly and ready to ship out, let's focus on a few things that you can do to ensure you get that perfect positive feedback every single time. Remember, the whole purpose of this video is we're trying to avoid that negative feedback so you can become a top rated seller and build that trust on eBay with your buyers. So the first thing that I want you to do is focus on your shipping time. We want to aim for 24-hour handling time because buyers love fast shipping. They want to see that their card is in transit ASAP. And here's one thing you can do right now in your eBay settings. And I'm going to walk you through that on my own seller hub. So what I have pulled up is my draft that I like to just have on standby, I guess, because I have a lot of different cars that I sell. So I have a lot of different types of drafts, but maybe you didn't know this, but you can adjust your handling time to show your buyers that you are a serious seller. And what you want to do is scroll all the way down to your preference tabs. And then you're going to drop down that handling time box and select 1 business day, because by default, eBay will have 2 business days selected for you, which is a pretty decent turnaround time. But again, we want to focus on the quickest turnaround time possible, and that's that 24-hour turnaround time, that 1 business day turnaround time. So once you adjust this in your settings, click done. You want to make sure that you save for later and it's all set and you're ready to go. All right. The second thing you can do is stop using so much tape with your shipments. Now, I know that we use a little bit of painter's tape, but you can see how small those pieces were that I was using. And again, painter's tape is awesome because it doesn't leave a lot of stickiness or residue, and it doesn't stain the cards or the slab. It's very easy to peel off and cut through, but you want to avoid using excessive amounts of box tape, packing tape, because what this is going to result in is frustration on the buyer's end, because it's going to take them so long to cut through or peel off those layers of tape. And the longer it takes them to get through all that, the longer it takes them to get to the card and see the card that they purchased from you. Now, while this might not result in them leaving negative feedback on your page, it's probably going to result in them not leaving any feedback at all, which is a huge missed opportunity for you. Also, it's probably going to prevent them from coming back and doing more business with you in the future. All right, last thing you can do to ensure that you're setting yourself up for that positive feedback and avoiding the negative feedback is send a friendly message to your buyer once you see that the card has been delivered. Now, I suggest you only sending this out once you see the card has been delivered, because now the process is complete, assuming the card was packed properly and it is on point, that the card is what the buyer wanted, then you should see a nice, friendly, positive feedback left on your profile. But this friendly message that you send out is just going to ensure that they know you're paying attention, you appreciate their business, and probably going to keep them coming back in the future. Now, if you don't have a friendly message that you're sending out and you're looking for some suggestions or even a template, here's a quick one that I drew up for this video, and you can actually just copy and paste this because I've included this in the video description below. So take my advice, do all 3 of these things, and you will be setting yourself up for success and ensure that you get that perfect positive feedback with every single sale on eBay. And that's it. Pack it right, ship it fast, and add that personal touch, and ensure that you get that perfect feedback rating every single time, but more importantly, that you're building trust with your buyers. If you found this video helpful, insightful, do me a favor, hit that like button and click that sub up button as well. It means a ton to me. Also, if you're looking for more card prepping, investing, evaluation, just insights that I provide, go ahead and check out my website, cardiq.com, and download that free Card Investing Made Easy PDF guide today. And do me a favor, before you get out of here, drop a comment below. Let me know what your biggest struggle with shipping and buying cars on eBay has been. Let's talk about it. I'll be back with another video very soon. And until that video, you already know what's up. Chavez is...